like to introduce our next presenter. Dr. Gary Keener of the Economics Department will present his student Kate Loar.
Hi, I'm Gary Keener, and today it's my pleasure to introduce Kate Loar. Kate is a senior from Akron, Ohio. She is a music and business administration double major, and Kate has combined her interest in music and the arts and business, and she's looking for a future in managing nonprofits and arts and those type of organizations. I was really excited when Kate came to ask me to mentor her program. I heard all these things about how great a student Kate was, but I never had the pleasure of working with her in a class in an academic setting. So I was really excited when she asked me to mentor her, and it's been a real pleasure because she's worked very hard, and I've learned a lot from mentoring her. And so I'll let Kate take this up.
There's a story my family often likes to tell about the first time my grandfather used a drive-thru. My mom and my aunt were with him, and he wanted to order a cup of coffee, and their McDonald's in their town had just gotten a brand new drive-thru. They said, "Go ahead, Dad, try it out." So he pulled up, rolled down his window, placed his order, and pulled ahead. Through their shrieks of laughter, he realized that he had placed his order into a telephone pole. And amid his anger and embarrassment and frustration, he pulled off without his coffee, and needless to say, swore he would never use a drive-thru again. This is often how donors of nonprofits feel when fundraisers don't effectively communicate with them. And just as methods of communication differ between generations, so do the motivations for giving charitable gifts and the best practices that fundraisers can use to connect with members of these various generations. So for this project, I decided to look at the profile of who gives in the United States to nonprofits, why they give and their motivations, the differences between generational giving, specifically between baby boomers and the next generation, and what the research recommends should be done to address these different generations. So for this presentation, I'd like to address similarities and differences between motivations for givers of different generations and how fundraisers can best interact with them. So first, I'll define each generation. The baby boomers are the children of the post-World War II baby boom, born between approximately 1946 and 1964. This is a large generation with a great amount of variation. Both my parents are baby boomers. My dad is an older boomer, my mom is a younger boomer, and needless to say, while part of the same generation, their life experiences have been vastly different. The new or next generation are the offspring of the baby boomers. So this includes Generation X, born between the early 60s and early 1980s, and Generation Y, which is my generation, and many of the students in here, the millennials, born between 1980 and 1999. So first, fundraisers have to consider, why do people give? If we don't know what motivates them, how can we connect to them? There are some demographics that help to answer this question. Those between ages 50 and 64 are more likely to make a charitable donation than any other age. This is possibly attributed to the fact this age range is often most prosperous in an individual's career, but ends before the typical age of American retirement, when budget tightening may occur. Women are more likely to donate their time through volunteering to organizations than men, and give smaller amounts of money to a wider variety of organizations, whereas men are more likely to give larger donations to fewer organizations. Education also plays a role. So as an individual's level of education increases, so does the likelihood of a charitable gift. Other people give for feelings of personal gratification or because of their own self-image. A person, if you're in psychology, you'll understand this, but a person who sees himself as very generous or altruistic or giving is likely to make a donation, so there's not dissonance between their actions and their self-image. Other people give to assuage feelings of guilt, and a very interesting study that I came across showed that people surveyed going into Catholic confession were more likely to say that they would make a donation than those coming out of Catholic confession. And the researcher attributes this to intense feelings of guilt that individual trying to make up for those feelings in their own eyes or in the eyes of society. Other people give because of social pressure, because a family member or a friend or a peer encourages them to. But most importantly, importantly, all lifelong givers begin making charitable donations in their 30s. And so while older individuals are more likely to make donations, fundraisers have to begin relationships in the 20s and 30s in order to engage lifelong givers. So the baby boomers are often said that they live to work. And so personal worth, their own personal values, feelings of success they attribute to their careers. Baby boomers are more likely to give to religious and local organizations, and makes sense that they're often motivated by religious community or religious leaders to donate, as well as by social pressures. Often, donors that I've encountered, especially baby boomers or even older donors than that, will give to an organization because